Hey guys, it's Justin. You guys probably know me as Sir Horse, Warhorse, or Warrior. I'm the main editor for our YouTube channel, and also one of the main people you see pop up in the clip compilations.
What's up, guys? It's Mad Dog Mike here. I was the face of this channel for quite a bit of time. And then I brought in my brother, and then I brought in a very helpful editor who's been content creator for quite some time now.
You will see more of Mike in the future, but for now, you guys are mainly seeing me with a mix of Mike within the clip compilations and any other projects we do. Although we normally don't do these type of videos, especially because I'm introverted as fuck, we just felt like we needed to kind of point out some things that just haven't been said, mainly because we just haven't really wanted to, but we 100% should, especially after the newest clip compilation.
Or we both didn't want to get onto an emotional level with you guys, so we are pretty much going to talk about that actually in a few minutes.
We're going to start off with some smaller announcement and just saying things, and then we'll go to the big topic, which you guys will probably see in the title of this.
Absolutely.
So for any of those who may have seen my original channel before I was the editor here, I used to do live streams, but kind of fell out from it and never got into it. But now that I'm mainly on PC, while still using PlayStation, and I've been experimenting, I'm soon going to be trying to stream on Twitch, like live gameplay of different games that I just want to share with you guys. So soon you'll be seeing that, and my old channel will become a VOD channel, where if you don't want to open Twitch for whatever reason, you can go to that channel to watch the live streams a few days or a week later, depending on how long it takes me to get that. So, yeah. So, you guys may have noticed in clip compilations, you may have noticed how our usernames or usernames of people around us change over time. For example, that guy Manny to the Blue Zebra, to Sticky Bomb, back to that. Or you guys seeing me as Warhorse, Sir Horse. That's because with clip compilations, we've saved it over the course of a long time, with the oldest one I believe dating back to late 2018, if I remember correctly. So we've had a lot of clips for a long time, and we've just been uploading it whenever we want. Some of them you see are modern, for example the Payday or Insurgency, but we didn't really have to point that out, but felt like since we're doing this kind of video, might as well let you guys know how the clip compilations are sort of made. So if you guys have of course been a part of the channel for a while, you of course would have remembered live streams Mike did with crew moments, which included me of course. But you're probably wondering, what the hell happened to those live streams? Where have they been? Well, just for some reference, we were gaming with them for me, 4+ years. Mike, I ended up getting to literally buy a PlayStation to join us about a year or so later. But after all that time, us being sort of an online family, we ended up having to leave the crew. Now, of course, we'll explain why this happened, and we'll explain it the best we can, but just know, this is from our point of view, our opinions, from what we heard, and honestly, we probably never got the full story of what happened, but what we know is concrete at least. So here, I guess we'll just start it off. So, dating back to about late December of 2021 last year, the crew was doing really well. People weren't quite as active, but not because there was an issue, it's just people were doing whatever. But there were still solid people who were on every day. But on this day, I decided to go to a Giants game with my family. They got their asses kicked, but I ended up not hearing from them the whole time. And like I said, everything was cool before this. But when I got home, I hopped in to say hi to two of them at midnight as a quick hello before I went to sleep. And that's when I learned that a bunch of crazy drama happened, which would end up causing the biggest split within the crew we've ever had.
Yeah, so I learned it about a few days to a week ago. Not even from Justin. I learned it from Manny.
Which we didn't know at the time, but that would honestly probably be one of the first big red flags. But we just didn't. But we didn't see it at the time.
We didn't catch on to it
until months later, which we'll go back to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this is from what I understood from those people I talked to, Manny and Ryan, who you guys would have seen in some of the clip compilations. Basically, while they were playing GTA, I believe Ryan brought up saying GTA was starting to get boring or something like that. I forgot the exact contents, but I believe he's the one who said it. And then Gray, who you guys haven't seen in clip compilations, but might have seen in live streams, chimed in saying, yeah, I kinda agree with you. And apparently Manny went off, like screaming, angry at people, getting a message from my school. It was just a big argument, and although I was the second head of the crew, basically meaning the only person with higher power than me in the crew was Manny. I was sort of in the dark, and yeah, that fucking sucks with this situation. And down the line, it kept becoming an issue. When I first talked to Manny, a first red flag that would pop up to me, I was finishing up my classes at the time, I believe. Like, one of my last classes of that semester. Within the last couple of minutes before the class ended, while I was checking my phone, we had downtime, I got a message from Manny saying, we need to talk. I got the exact contents, but the end of it said that I don't want to have to kick you too, I believe. Or, like, have issues with you too. So that was the first big red flag for me, and I was complete defensive. When Manny explained it, I was like, God, this is a fucking shit show. But alright. And I made it clear to him at the time, like, you gotta be more careful with your wording, because I didn't know if I was gonna be kicked what was going on. And he said alright. But the reason why this is a red flag isn't because he said it once. He would say it at least 2 other times, even after that discussion.
Oh, we forgot to also throw in, also at that time, we did find another crew, and they combined with us at first.
Which was actually my older brother's crew. And they were just new.
Yeah, brand spanking new.
Like, a week or 2 tops.
Yeah, I believe so.
He met him a few times before that, but his first true experience with it ended up involving this shit.
Yeah, which did not turn out well for us.
They ended up all leaving the crew, including my brother, and just went back to their old crew. Although my old brother was surprised I was staying, although it was mainly because of how long I was gaming with him, and I didn't know what to believe at the time, I would fully respect him. I'd tell him, like, it sucks, but I'm not gonna stop you. So, about a week or 2 after it, at this point, because of how split the crew was from this fight, and just to give you an idea of how major it was, there were 2 separate parties. There was the main one that we all used to communicate, but then there's the ones that were the people that Manny trusted. And he would always go there, although I tried to tell him, like, we should try talking it out.
But Manny didn't like that very much.
And the next red flag for me would have been, like, Manny was discussing the day before one of the bigger events happened that he wanted to kick some of the people, including the people who were talking about the GTA, and also just some other people who were siding with him or just not making their ground clear. And I told Manny, just, look, I 100% where we're coming from, but with this situation, it's dumb shit. And every time dumb shit's happened, there's always been an easy solution. So I tried telling him, hold off from shooting the trigger. We should try talking to them and see what happens. I can try, being that I was a neutral ground at the time, trying to kind of bridge the gaps, I thought I could get them to talk. Manny agreed to it. He 100% agreed, said, alright, I'll give it a shot, like, within a few days whenever I get the chance. And I was like, alright, at least he'll consider it. The next day, he proceeds to kick about 5 to 10 people, and if they weren't kicked, they would leave because they sided with them. We lost like half the crew.
Yeah, I believe it was almost, maybe even more than 6 to 10. I believe it was around, estimated either 15 to 20 people.
Yeah, 15 to 20 if you include my brother's crew, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. And we were, I believe at this time, we were still top, or not top ranked, but probably about 5th ranked in the world, I believe, of top crew. I think. Because that's what Manny keeps saying. He keeps saying shit like that, but
pretty much Manny said that if you didn't include the crews like IGN and stuff, we would probably be the top one. Which I'm sure a lot of people would agree with, because let's just admit, IGN's a cult.
But at the same time, with an IGN crew, you see IGN fight each other all the time. So it's nothing. They're literally nothing.
But this would be the first major red flag that would cause a split. Like I said, him wording things wrong it kind of shook me, but didn't split us. That was the first time when Manny full on, like, listened to what I had to say, and he trusted me with stuff like that a lot. Although I was usually a quiet introvert, and yes, I am introverted. I'm just a complete fucking idiot on the game world. He kind of trusted me with that kind of stuff, and he full on agreed with me. But then pretty much went behind my back and did pretty much a purge. And that would be when I started questioning things. And technically, I would have questioned things sooner, but Mike was going with Manny, but I assumed Mike knew all the details. Mike only knew a snippet.
Yeah.
Even after that time, and I don't mean like before he was told. He wouldn't know for at least a month, for like a month and a half, until we realized, like, when we were talking, like, oh shit, he did not tell Mike everything. I gotta tell him what happened.
Yeah, there was so much information that was literally cut out that I had no fucking idea. And also, at the same time, he's very manipulative. That's what it seems like, because I was pretty much dead on the fence. I didn't know if I was gonna leave, or if I was just gonna maybe just leave and just be an ally or something like that. But no, then he pretty much brings me over the fence, or back under the fence, and part of the crew. And then, if I didn't talk to Justin, there would have been no way that I would have never have known the details. And I would have stayed with the crew, and it would have been fucked. And I would have never known.
And then sometime around like mid to late January is when we weren't leaving, but we kind of started doing our own things. Not in like we need to distance you from us. More of I think we need me time. We need to focus on stuff. And we made it clear, I'm probably gonna focus on school. I want to try out PC gaming more. And I told him, like, I'll still hop in to say hi. Maybe we'd game at one point if I'm on PlayStation. And he was fine with it. And if you're wondering why I'm saying this is gonna pop up again. And like I said, we were still, although we started communicating less, we were still good at the time. We would still play the game once in a while, mainly zombies, and we would have fun. And then, sometime about early to mid-February, me and Mike finally, were both on PlayStation again. We were playing, I believe, the new Dying Light at the time.
Yes, we were playing the new Dying Light. Dying Light 2, which still is a great game out there, but they're kind of dying again. Hence the name.
While we were playing, we started mentioning just it's crazy all the shit that happened, all the people that were kicked. And I was still kind of talking to them. The main reason was because I was in a Snapchat group with them, but my brother was still in it. I didn't know if me leaving it would fuck up things for my brother, so I stayed in it. And I went it's just crazy what happened with the arguments between Manny and Ray and Ryan. Right? I forgot what exactly I said. But then, no, I think we were talking about something, and then you said all the arguments, and I think you were going yeah, I didn't know the full story, but
right.
And then that's when the red flag. That's when we knew that week
Something
later
was
for
wrong.
Mike was a red flag. So I told him the story from what I heard, because Mike only heard what Manny told him.
Yeah.
Through me, Mike heard both sides of the fence.
Yep. And at this point, there was literally 3 groups now. Three chat groups. There was the normal, then you had
that top secret one.
the top secret one.
That was being used before the kicks.
Yup, and
And
then
I believe it was called at the time BBC.
yeah.
I forgot exactly what the crew name is, but pretty much just crew as a fuck you to Manny. Best way to put it.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of the BBC, at least not yet, since they assumed I was on Manny's side. What no one knew was that I was on the fence the entire time. I was teetering the entire time from the beginning. But I was weighing more towards the crew because I thought Mike knew the detail. Once I heard Mike's reaction, that would start being, although there'd still be a month or so before we left, I think that would be the official beginning of the end.
And at the same time, I noticed that Manny pulled a certain couple of people into one chat log. It was, I'm pretty sure I can still remember this. So it was Manny, me, Rose.
Yeah.
I believe there was someone else, but it was a new recruit, and I couldn't remember.
Yeah, another new recruit, and I was most likely a part of it too.
No, you actually weren't in it.
Shit, I don't think you actually told me this. Yeah, I think you're taking the lead now.
Yeah, this one you were not in there. This was just straight up all four of us. And I started noticing that there weren't a lot of people, and like I started thinking, where the fuck is all the other crew? Where's all the other guys? And then I literally sent that out in a message, and Manny sends another message that I should have screenshotted, but I didn't. He sends one and says, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna start a brand new crew." And I go, "Wait, what?" I started freaking out. I was like, "That's not gonna happen. There's no, we can't recover from this. Oh, there's only 4 of us." So then at that time, when he said that, I left it. I was like, no, not gonna happen.
I don't think you left the crew one at the time because that was later.
No, I was still in the crew one.
But you left the private one just because. Well, I guess you just wanted to focus more on your own stuff. Which I did.
It literally caught me off guard. I was literally just at that time. I was literally doing my own thing. I was still hunting in Dying Light 2. I was hunting for Easter eggs, and I get that message, and I go, alrighty.
Like a day or two later, when we were still playing farther into it, like we just joined the party. At that point, we were both wondering, like, what else has he hidden?
Yeah.
What are details we don't know? How would he react to certain things? Because, just for reference, a lot of times, Manny wouldn't be cool with you talking to people who were kids. Although he also knew, with this situation, people would still talk to each other.
Yeah.
And Manny said he was fine with it. But with how weird the situation was, I wasn't fully buying it. So I went to Mike. You know what? To try to get some more truth or to see how what's Manny's mind is going, let's talk to him in the chat. Because at this point, it was only like once every week or so I talked to him. But I was still being somewhat active.
Right. And at this point, it was almost every day me and Manny were talking. Literally. And this is when it was still just the 4 of us. Almost every day in Discord we were talking. And he was talking about life and other stuff, and then he brought up the crew, and it was not a good topic. At the time, thankfully I had a recording of my voice constantly go, yeah. I literally muted myself, and I literally just had that constantly playing. I did not want any part to hear of it.
Advantage of me being an introvert. It's expected for me to be quiet.
Yeah, that's your one superpower you have. I don't have that. I gotta deal with people just telling me shit. It's like, I don't want to listen to shit, but at the same time, I can't not listen.
So, when we were hopping in the party, we had a couple different goals. One, at the time, at this point, Manny was starting to say he was kind of over it, wanting to make a new crew. That, we wanted to test by not pushing the buttons aggressively, but seeing how he reacts to certain things. I wanted to see how chill he was, because he knew I was talking to my brother. He knew, I'm pretty sure in the back of his mind, he knew I might still be talking to him. Although, at the time, all I was sending was just once in a while, "Hey guys, hope you're doing well," and like a random horse match gift. That's pretty much it. Either that or a picture of my cat. But anyway, so I wanted to see how he would react when we said that. And the rest of the stuff was kind of just more casual, but would end up being pointed out.
Yeah.
So of course we start off with like, "Hey, how you been?" Like,
so stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know Mike was playing daily, but I said, "Yeah, it's the first time we really started the PlayStation in a while. We're both trying Dying Light 2 together." He was like, "Nice, this is good." We're like, I think at the time before we started seeing the cracks in it, we were like, "Yeah, it's pretty good."
Yeah, before all the glitches happened and bugs, it was pretty good.
And I told him like, "Oh, I've been focusing on school," which I was, and also playing on PC sometimes. He was like, "Alright, this would end up being one of the bigger red flags." Like I said, I already mentioned this back in January. We're in mid-February now with this discussion.
I believe so, yes.
So I went to Manny like it's still crazy what happened. I forgot exactly what he said, but I started mentioning some of them, and he started getting a little more. He didn't make it obvious,
but you could tell he was definitely getting pissed.
Yeah, like for anyone else, they may have not been able to see the signs, but because of an introvert, I can read almost anyone, and the longer I know them, the more I can read them.
Trust me.
So although we didn't say anything at the time, even if Mike didn't realize it or didn't fully realize how much he was pissed at the time, I knew he was irritated or pissed.
Oh no, I actually knew he was pissed. You pretty much, what I'm trained on, well, not really trained on, it's more, at that time, you give someone at least an hour, or you know them for at least a day or two, you can pick up a thing or two on people.
Yeah.
You can pick up whether, how they act, there's a couple of key things you want to look for. How they act, how they sound, how they interact with people, and then it's how they interact online.
I will say though, like I said, I knew he was like super pissed. You know he was pissed, but I don't think you knew to the extent.
No, I didn't know to the
extent. You picked up the
read,
right? But you didn't know it as well as I did.
Right. I pretty much looked at the cover. I didn't open up the chapter. Pretty much.
And with how it was going, me and Mike, because he started sounding like it, and we were like starting to get questionable. We were thinking maybe not bring it up, but then I private wrote Mike, should I bring up the Snapchat? I told him, yeah, I still write to him once in a while, mainly just a quick hello or a picture of streets. Mainly because my brother's still there and I don't know if he'll fuck up things with him, which was 100% true.
Right.
It was the truth.
Yeah.
And May would go, alright, I can understand, but I could 100% tell from the tone of his voice.
Yeah,
he was mad.
Yeah.
He was trying to lie straight up to my face, although he knew how I can read people.
They still went with it anyway.
That would be probably one of the biggest red flags for us. That would cause, and would, I believe, end up being one of your final straws before you ghosted.
Yeah. I believe at that time, we left that party, and then we talked it and realized.
Yeah, we created a party on, and we were like, yeah, this shit's
too far. Yeah. He's still not over it and other shit.
Yeah. So and that's at the point where we weren't listening to Manny. We weren't being controlled by him anymore.
And just for reference, Justin was the only one to try and leave on good terms.
Yeah. When this would happen about 3 weeks later because we were off doing our own thing before we decided to. Mike would end up a day or two before I talked to him. After we decided, I think we should leave the crew.
Yeah, pretty much. At that moment, when he said that, exactly at that moment, I started leaving everything. I left the GTA crew. I deleted all the chats. I left the parties. I left everything. I left not the Discord. The Discord we'll talk about some other time.
Yeah. So a day or two later, I would talk to Manny about me leaving the crew. Now, I will admit, I could have worded this a lot better. But in my mind, it was the best way to put it is with you and the ghost situation. After the drama that happened, you went off to get your space, have time for yourself. Right. It ended up helping me, because you really improved with
Yeah, I'm actually kind of glad that shit actually happened. Because otherwise, I would have probably never probably had to seen this shit ever happen.
I'll do a quick rundown for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Basically, Mike and Ghost had arguments that go back a few years with their real life, since he knew Ghost a while before he met me in high school.
With me and Ghost. So it's about 3 years
before
we met. So
we met friend of a friend style. And now we're best friends. You don't even talk to that other guy.
We literally cut out the middleman. Literally.
That wasn't there were really any major issues. It was just stuff that got a little too annoying. We were we never discussed it. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, it was just
pretty much. Mike got the message and learned. Ghost tried to make it civil war.
Yeah, that's what I found out, and it was not a good idea.
He was kicked.
Not just him. It was him and Savage.
If you saw clips on my original channel, one where Manny in the Deluxo gets rammed by a jet, and he kills the jet although he rammed him, that's Savage, if I'm right. So I'll talk to Manny, I think I'm gonna... He wanted me to take... he started getting irritated since I was trying to be nice about it, and then I went, I think I'm gonna leave the crew, Manny. And then that moment, he went, alright. He was pretty much fine with me leaving. He was pretty much opening the door for me. which was weird because, like I said, we were bros. We knew each other for 4+ years.
Justin was the most pretty much loyal guy, actually. He was pretty loyal and was one of the top.
When the crew started, it was Manny, me who would join later because I was still trying to see what would happen with my old crew at the time. War Monkey or Crazy. People call him War Monkey or his real name. I always call him Crazy.
So do I.
And
he was very crazy.
And Light, who would end up being kicked. I won't go over that story, but
yeah,
but yeah, I was pretty much one of the founding 4, let's say.
Yeah, that story would take too damn long.
Now, how I feel about Manny could have gone better, but this is what happened. 1, he got pissed because he said like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gaming on PC the whole time," and I was pissed. Well, I said that back in January, and that was when I was just testing the waters of games. He knew that the whole time. 2nd, he admitted he was angry that I was still in the Snapchat group. But he started trying to create lies, saying, "Oh, I was conspiring with them, I was still hanging out with them." I was not hanging out with them at all. I would not actually hang out with them in a game, or even in a party, until like 2 weeks after this conversation. It was just, it got so awkward and tense. I was planning on saying in the PlayStation group chat, but I would end up leaving. Listen, things could have 100% gone smoothly. I will admit that. I could have done better. But Manny also just, the fuck.
Yeah.
Well, so I thought I was said like, maybe we can still be friends. Let me test the water. So a week later, I shared, I believe either it was clip compilation number 1 or 2. I forgot which one. Like when I first started editing clip compilations on Mike's channel.
I believe it was 2. I'm pretty sure it was 2.
And I've left like a nice, like, although I'm not in the crew anymore, I still want to share the dumb moments. Like, hope you guys enjoy. Hope we can talk to you. Like, you know, like, not being quite as friendly or stuff as before, but still being like, hey, I'm still here, maybe we can do stuff down the line.
I love it.
An hour or 2 later, while I was playing a game, I would open up Discord because I got a notification on one channel, and that's when I would learn Manny would ban and block me on everything with no word. 4 years of hanging out almost every day, going through walls, and helping each other grow. And just like that, it was over. It was just crazy. And Mike would pop up calling, and here's a crazier part. A few days later, when me and Mike wanted to hang out, we would be like, yeah, he did that. And he was like, but we would discover because Mike left on his own, he was not banned. So he would go like, pretty much the fuck Manny. Like, he was, like, he still kind of wanted to hang out, and he was even, like, I wanted to support him as a DJ, like, his RRL stuff.
Right.
All I could do was just watch his DJ live streams, but I wanted to show support how I could. And then, this is funny. When one of the people left, I believe Gray, Manny was pissed because she did that, like, super early in the morning, like around 1:30 to 2 a.m. time when she knew people would be up. And he was super pissed about that. He would then proceed to not respond to Mike until 4 a.m., but Mike would never be able to read it because he blocked him after.
Yep. But, thankfully, we were smart enough and we created a brand new account, or I believe we had one of our friends join off the link that we still had, that Justin still had. What we did was pretty much, I'm not sure if we screenshot it or...
No, I don't think... We kind of just read it to get the closure and left.
Right, so...
Pretty much... I forgot the exact details, but basically, Manny was going like, they were disrespectful, they were pretty much making up a lot, saying he ghosted him. Like I said, Mike 100% ghosted.
Absolutely.
But like I said, even before I left, like I said, I was distant, but I was still talking every week or so with him. Even if it was just a hello for a few minutes, I was still talking to him.
And then even making it sound like Justin was the bad guy.
Yeah.
At times, in that little chat piece.
So ever since then, except for the people who've been with us who left the crew, that we ended up, after we cleaned up the air with that, of them thinking we're resigning from Manny, to this day, everyone's more distant now, mainly because of just real life, but we're still talking to them, and we haven't really talked to anyone in the crew ever since.
Because there's no one in there that we trust. Well, actually, I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that 100% back.
Yeah.
Because there's still Nico, Crazy, Macho was a little hard.
Although we never really talked to him.
Yeah, we never really talked to him. And then you got... I can't remember anybody else.
So pretty much, just kind of give our closing thoughts. If we had the opportunity at this point, would we rejoin the crew?
That is the question.
Fuck. With how it ended between me and Manny, and just the amount of time it's been since he contacted us.
At this point, he would have to come to us.
No, we would never join the crew.
Well, no joining the crew, but we pretty much burned the bridge for that. He burnt the bridge.
But would we be friends with him again? Although there's a lot of stuff that would go into play, honestly, if it went well, yes. When I left, it wasn't with the intent of I'm cutting you off. It was I needed that me space.
I needed that me time. Needed that me time to smoke some weed.
Being that Manny blocked me in the way he did so aggressively, he would have to be the one to reach out. And we would have to talk no matter what to see how things go. But if it went well, or at least on a point where we can be like, we can burn the bad blood and start mutual, then there'd be a chance we could hang out again. But you would have to understand, we're our own people now.
Yep.
The horse you knew is gone.
Yeah. The pilot he knew is gone.
You would have to accept that we can still play together, but we would not be in the crew.
Not at all.
If he did that, then there'd be a shot. Of course, we'd never know until this happens, until we game with him more.
Yeah.
But until then, that's kind of where the story...
I mean, I'm still on the fence even for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it, I will be 100% right behind you.
Yeah. But until you know,
it's
things are on good or
fine.
mutual terms,
Yeah.
you would not... So if he reached out, it would be me and him 1-1.
Because it would have to be 100% concrete, set in stone.
And even if it didn't work out, I'd say the only thing that would be cool if it happens is if we could talk to Crazy. I fucking miss him.
I do. He was actually real fun.
I don't know what he heard from Manny, but honestly I think soon I may just message him on PlayStation and see if he responds. There's no way to know what will happen until we try.
Yeah, we are definitely very curious.
So, I know this was an unusual video that honestly pretty much just ended up turning into a podcast, but yeah, I just felt like it was time that we just shared that info and clear the air. So, to anyone who listened to the whole thing,
good on you. You can listen to our voice for that long.
Thank you for all the support you've given to us over all the time, and if you're new, I hope you guys enjoy the videos we do over the time.
And hope that we will do in the future.
And soon you'll either be seeing a new clip compilation or something.
And maybe a new film series. Maybe. Yeah, I'm just going to give it a little hint there.
Or soon you'll be seeing me with on Twitch. So until next time, this has been Sir Horse and
Mad Dog Mike.
And we'll talk
in the next one. Bye-bye. Testing.
He said that right as I hit the button.
Oh. What's up, Mad Dog Biker?
What's up, Mad Dog Biker?
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Mike.
It's nah. Hey guys, it's Ma. I'm back from the grocery store.